3 marks, we have to solve algebraically the system of equations, and we have 2 equations. We refer to these as simultaneous equations. Have an attempt at it if you wish and pause the video, but I'm going to continue. The word algebraically is a hint. Essentially, what this means is you cannot do guess and check, so you're not allowed to, for example, substitute random numbers in and check which one sticks. So you cannot simply go, oh, let's put x is 2, put y is 5, test if that works. If it doesn't, change the numbers. Nope, you're not allowed to use guess and check. You have to show the steps. So I will start this. I will call the first equation equation star, and the second one is equation star star. So that is equation star, and this one is the second equation. We need a value for x and a value for y that satisfies both of the equations. Now what we need to do is we have to do some scaling, and what we mean by scaling is we have to multiply the equations by certain numbers so that you get the same number in front of either the x's or the y's. The signs do not matter at this stage. They will matter later on, but we're just focusing on the number, not the sign. So you can either scale the x's to get the x's the same, or the y's. I'm going to do the y's because it's a bit, I would say it's a bit easier in this case, but you can do either or. So I'm going to multiply the first equation by 3, because we have to think, what is the lowest common multiple of 4 and 6? Well, the highest common factor is 2, so if we multiply 4 and 6, we get 24. Divide by the highest common factor, is dividing by 2 is 12. So if we multiply equation star by 3, we get a 12. Then we can call this one equation star star star. Star star star. But we then want to scale up the second one of star star. If we multiply that by 2, we get a 12 in front of the y, but we have to multiply the entire of the equation by 2. And this gives you 10x plus 12y. You see the 12s. is minus 44. And we will call this one star, 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 star. Starting to get a bit lazy with my stars, but they don't have to be perfect. It's just a way of labeling the equations so the marker knows which one you refer to. So we have to either add or take away these equations from each other. If the two signs in front of the 12, if they're the same, you have to subtract, but if they're different, you add, because if you add them, the plus 12y and the minus 12y are annihilated or cancelled out. You have a negative in front of that 12 and a positive. So if I add those, I can cancel out. So I'm going to add here. To add the x's, we get 19x equals minus 95. And we divide minus 95 by 19, and that is minus 5. I'll go on to the next page. Then you have to pick one of these equations. I suggest that you use the equations in the question because they're easier to work with. Remember, the scaled up equations are equivalent to the ones on the exam, so you can just use, and I'm going to use the first one. So we substitute minus 5 minus 4y is minus 17. Minus 15 minus 4y is minus 17. So minus 15 minus 2 gives you minus 17. So this 4y has to be 2. And the y is a half. Let's check that x equals minus 5 and y equals a half satisfy both of the equations in the question. We don't have to check the scaled ones because they're equivalent, but we want to check our answer to make sure. Now you don't have to do this, but I recommend it. So 5 times x is 5 times minus 5. So let's check that we get. So 5 times minus 5 plus 6 times a half. Well, 5 times minus 5 is minus 25. And 6 times a half is 3, giving you minus 22. So you can see that if you plug x is minus 5 and y is 1/2 into the second equation on this, is also satisfied, so that both equations are satisfied. So that's the final answer. I hope you found this useful, and best of luck with the studying. Thank you for watching.